You know what, though? Is there life on the other side of this for these stars? These are major stars. Obviously, people love their music, love what they do, and I would think want to see them continue to do well and get this behind them, get help if it's necessary, like in Chris Brown's case. But let me just throw out a couple of other names. I want to get your reactions to this. And this is, again, other celebrities who have been down and out, but found a way to come back. Let's start with Mickey Rourke, who's been as low as you can get. This guy was just up for an Oscar.
Much, now he's the prom king.
I got a list here that I came up with.
And charged with assault, I might add, in a domestic violence case.
Look at in the world what happened with Britney Spears, and now Britney is on the comeback. I mean, you would have thought that, people thought that she was just a step away from suicide.
But we're a very forgiving nation.
Yeah. Especially because they're basically doing their penance in public for us.
Right.
You know, like Mickey Rourke was, until the wrestler, he was a footnote.
Yeah.
You know, and then it was this dramatic performance. Let's see how he does in Iron Man 2.
Robert Downey Jr.
Another one
who's made a total recovery.
Also, he was always so likable. Like, he came into the game where people were like, oh, he's so talented, he's so wonderful, and then it was, you watch this downfall and you root for him.
Yeah.
You know, I think Rihanna is the same way. She's incredibly talented, young, and beautiful.
I actually think she might have a harder time with the post-fallout than Chris will.
Really? Why so?
Well, first of all, he's a man, so we're going to immediately want to forgive him quicker. You know, let's face it, we have an unconscious core belief that it must have been the woman's fault. If you look at the study they did in Boston last week of teenagers' opinion on what went on here, 46% said it was her fault.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
52% said she must have provoked it.
And do you think the longer it goes without her saying anything, the more the public is going, what's going on here? Like, if she's forgiving him, there's that innate kind of like, how can you respect somebody?
And then don't we feel sorry for him because he was the product of an abusive childhood?
Well, you speak about forgiving. This is my all-time classic celebrity case of a person who somehow continues to thrive despite all he's been through. R. Kelly, the singer. My goodness, I mean, how much lower can you go than R. Kelly went? But yet, every time he puts out a new song, people snap it up, they dance to his music.
Yet Roman Polanski is still hiding, you know? Like you said, we're very forgiving, and it also, in this industry, it's, what's your next song like?
Yeah, and is that, they say, you know, people love a comeback, a good comeback story, and people love an underdog. And so if you've been as low as you can go, and in these cases, some of these people were so low that they would have to reach up to touch down. Okay, and so they found a way to come back there. Again, back to Rihanna and Chris Brown. What do you think? What was it likely to entail?
Well, I think they're young, and I do think they'll easily recover.
I think there will always be a public perception because this is one of those situations that when you hear the name, you will immediately associate it with this. Like, I couldn't name people in my age group who could pick 5 of his songs out. But if you say Chris Brown to somebody who's 35, they'll be like, oh, he beat up Rihanna.
Not a big deal, you think?
No, that's what they know him for.
Their opinion,
that's what they'll know him for.
That's what they'll know him for.
So that's a stigma that he'll always have to live with.
Yeah. Well, again, a lot of that depends on how quickly they can get it out of the headlines. April 6th, I think he's due to be arraigned unless that date has changed.
Well, unless they make it go away next week, which is a possibility.
Right. So we'll see what happens there. I mean, there's so much more that's still to come with this. I'm going to give you both a chance to just. I know that we've been particularly interested in your book, Truth Heals, because, again, this is a case that's playing out right now. You haven't been surprised by this at all, have you?
Not really. I've dealt so much with different forms of abuse, and domestic violence is just another form of it. It's just abuse between intimates. That's what distinguishes it.
Yeah. Damian?
Well, you know, when I first heard it, I was just disgusted because you know, in this industry, and we talked about TMZ during the break, and you know, stories just get blown out of proportion. But as the facts started to come out and we saw those photos, it's just, you know, like you said, it's going to take some time for at least you know, a large part of the population to go.
But at the same time, it's really been the best opportunity to talk about a very pervasive problem.
And that is probably the light in this tunnel.
It's the silver lining.
That's right. That's right. And we certainly hope the best for both of them. They're young, talented people. Hate to see their careers, hate to hear their careers ruined this way.
And even just their lives.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much. We're out of time. I certainly appreciate talking to you about this and having you share your insight with me. That'll wrap it up for this edition of Art Fennell Reports. As always, we appreciate you being there as well. And we will see you again next time on The Report.